Hi, this is Hope Turner and this is Genetics 101. Now, most of you are familiar with the beautiful double helix shape of deoxyribonucleic acid, or otherwise known as DNA, which was discovered at King's College London in the early 1950s by Rosalind Franklin. And you're aware that we inherit these genes from our parents. When we run DNA tests, we distinguish between the mtDNA, which is a mitochondrial DNA that goes back on the maternal line, and nDNA, which is found in the nucleus of the cell and is basically your makeup. And these have to be separated out to test out properly. And we also do what we cut the genes to look for particular areas or SNPs that we know hold certain information pertaining to certain things that have been mapped, like blue eyes or certain diseases. So, for example, we can test for what colour of fur an animal might have. So let's say we have a DNA sample of a dog and there are two potential owners of the DNA. One is blue merle and one is black and white. We could match the colour genes to which dog that DNA came from. However, what if they had a puppy and its genes had both blue merle and black and white? This is where epigenetics or gene expression comes in. So a gene can be expressed or not, or switched on or switched off, dependent. And it's not always evident from the phenotype, which is like what you see in the animal. So in this coat colour example, it tends to be obvious, but it may not be in other, especially health-related genes. Our genes are static, other than sort of radioactive mutation, and they don't tend to move around. They stay in the sequence that you were born with, but they do go off and they do go off. And to say that is as long as gene mutation doesn't occur. So gene expression, whether it's on or off, can be changed by environmental factors, stress, illness, and stochastic events, which is something like a shock. So now I don't know anyone whose hair colour went from brown to red overnight without chemical help, but from any colour to white or completely falling out, yeah, that happens, and it's obvious with the phenotype. Now, why have I said this? Because I'm increasingly seeing people worried about their genetic tests, which have become more popular since certain people have started having body parts removed in order to mitigate the risk of certain diseases. Now, I've done those tests too, and my son has 74 very worrying mutations. But here's the thing. They may have the genes that have been shown to link to certain diseases, but that isn't listing whether that gene is expressed or not. In other words, there's no guarantee that you will develop those diseases just because you have the genes. So now, as I said earlier, expression can be changed by environmental factors, stress, illness, stochastic events. So that's hypothetically, you might get in a car crash and it could trigger the gene, which would be completely out of your control. But it does seem that environmental factors are more common for having that effect, and therefore you can control and mitigate the risks of a particular gene being switched on or being switched off. So you can eat a clean diet, you can buy fresh organic produce, eat a paleo or ketogenic diet, you avoid processed foods and drinks, you avoid environmental toxins, household toxins, you exercise, you consume clean supplements, do nutritional balancing and detoxing, and live a healthy lifestyle. That is your very best defense from the risk of methylation of those genes. So please join us in the revolution by improving health by nutrition. Thank you.